At New Year's Eve parties, everyone just wants to celebrate. Almost no one thinks about how dogs feel. But imagine waking up in the middle of the night to deafening explosions coming out of nowhere, with no warning, no explanation, and no way to escape. Now imagine experiencing this with hearing that's 4 times more sensitive than ours, trapped inside the house, looking at your human for answers. Your dog isn't being dramatic. He's not exaggerating. He's surviving a sensory bombardment that his brain interprets as an imminent threat to his life. And that New Year's Eve night, while you held your phone to film the colorful fireworks, he was trembling under the bed, his heart racing at 180 beats per minute. But what if I told you there's an invisible language that can transform this terror into security in less than a minute? A language that doesn't use words, but pressure. That doesn't require medication, but presence. One that specialists use in shelters during thunderstorms. Today, you'll discover 7 secrets, some counterintuitive, others deeply scientific, that will forever change how your dog faces fear. This isn't just another video about how to calm your pet. It's an emotional survival guide for those who love deeply and want to do more than just watch others suffer. Take a deep breath. What you'll learn in the next few minutes could be the difference between a night of panic and a night of unshakable trust. Most pet owners make the same devastating mistake. They hug their trembling dog and whisper, "It's okay, my love, there's nothing to worry about." It sounds like love, but in canine language this is a scary confirmation. Yes, there is danger, and even my human is tense. Your dog reads your hunched posture, trembling voice, and rapid heartbeat as signals of maximum alert. You're not comforting him, you're validating his fear as real and justified. The fix comes in 3 simple steps that take less than a minute. First, keep a relaxed, upright posture as if you're listening to gentle rain. Second, offer a high-value treat without looking directly at him, just drop it near his paws. Third, continue your usual activities as if the fireworks are just background noise, irrelevant. This sends a powerful message. This sound does not represent a threat in my safe world. In 60 seconds you shift from reinforcing his fear to anchoring his calm. Last New Year's Eve I turned my closet into a sensory sanctuary using just 3 accessible items. First, heavy blankets on the door to muffle 70% of the external noise. Doesn't need to be perfect, just enough to reduce the intensity. Second, a pink salt lamp creating a warm amber light that signals to the canine brain, it's time for deep rest. Third, and most important, an orthopedic mattress covered with his favorite blanket, infused with his own sense of security. The secret isn't complete isolation, but creating a deliberate sensory contrast, chaos outside, predictability inside. My dog hesitated as he entered, sniffed for 30 seconds, then lay down with a deep sigh I'd never heard before. In 8 minutes his heart rate normalized, measured with a pet-adapted smartwatch. You don't need a special room, even a corner behind the couch with a cardboard box works just as well. The canine brain seeks patterns, and your job is to provide an unwavering pattern of safety amid chaos. This cocoon isn't a prison, it's a quiet invitation to breathe deeply when the world seems to be falling apart. When the sound of fireworks reaches your dog's ears, it travels straight to the amygdala, the threat center of the reptilian brain. There, a hormonal tsunami is triggered. Adrenaline, cortisol, and norepinephrine flood the body in milliseconds, preparing for fight or flight. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and calm, simply shuts down in that moment of pure panic. That's why saying calm down doesn't work. You're trying to reason with a brain that has already turned off rationality to survive. But there's a calm switch discovered by neuroethologists at the University of California. It's called therapeutic deep pressure, a gentle, constant compression applied to the animal's chest and sides. This pressure activates proprioceptive receptors that send direct messages to the parasympathetic nervous system. You're safe, you can relax. Veterinarians use calming vests with distributed weight, but you can replicate this with a light elastic bandage, or even a firm, not tight hug. In clinical studies, dogs with deep pressure reduce their heart rate by 34% during simulated storms. Understand that this isn't pampering, it's applied neuroscience with your hands. The phrase, "there's nothing to worry about," is a lie that your dog can smell in your anxiety, and it destroys your credibility as a leader. Shh, stop crying denies his emotional experience, teaching that his feelings aren't valid. Even "I'm scared" transfers your own stress, creating a spiral of shared anxiety. Instead, use phrases that acknowledge without amplifying. "I'm here with you," simple, true, and powerful. This sound will pass offers predictability without denying the current reality of fear. You're safe with me combines physical presence with emotional promise, the most calming combination there is. Speak with a deep, slow rhythm, not high or quick. Low tones activate safety receptors in the canine ear. In fact, dogs understand more the tone and rhythm of your voice than the words themselves. Minimize eye contact. A fixed gaze increases social pressure. It's better to look aside while gently petting. Your words don't need to be many. They need to be true, calm, and consistent with your body language. Remember, you're not trying to eliminate his fear, but build a bridge of trust through it. While humans look for pills, animal therapists know that the fastest way to the emotional brain is through the nose. The first scent is DAP, synthetic maternal pheromone that mimics the scent of a lactating female dog, activating deep memories of absolute safety. The second is true lavender, lavandula angustifolia, not synthetic oil. Studies from the University of Lincoln show a 47% reduction in anxiety in dogs exposed to it. The third may surprise you, the scent of the owner on a t-shirt worn for 2 days, placed on the dog's bed hours before the fireworks. The fourth comes from research into captive wolves. Valerian extract in a diffuser creates a chemical mist signaling safe territory to the limbic system. Important: never apply oils directly to the dog's skin, disperse them in the environment, or use specific items for animal aromatherapy. These scents don't mask fear, they rewrite the chemical narrative of the environment from danger to shelter. A dog's nose processes odors 10,000 times faster than our brain processes words. It's the expressway to calm. Combine 2 of these elements, DAP plus your shirt, for a proven synergistic effect in shelters during fireworks. You're not just scenting the environment, you're speaking directly to your dog's oldest emotional memory. This is the chemical language of comfort, silent, invisible, and profoundly transformative. You don't need to wait until New Year's Eve to prepare your dog. Start today with the invisible noise method. Day 1, play firework recordings at almost inaudible volume, 5% of max, while your dog chews a Kong filled with peanut butter. Day 2, increase to 10%, just enough for him to perk his ears, once, without interrupting his chewing. Day 3, 15% with your own body movement. Walk normally around the room to associate the sound with a calm routine. Day 4, 20% during his favorite playtime, where joy should slightly outweigh curiosity about the sound. Day 5, 25% with you absent for 30 seconds, teaching that the sound doesn't mean abandonment. Day 6, 30% with open doors, simulating a less controlled environment but still maintaining security. Day 7, 40% with other stimuli, TV on, doorbell ringing, integrating the sound into daily household noises. The key is never advancing to the next level if you see signs of stress, quick licking, excessive yawning, or avoidance. This training doesn't eliminate fear, it builds a new neural memory where fireworks are simply part of life. In 7 days, you won't create a dog indifferent to fireworks, but one that trusts that, even with strange noises, the world is still safe. On the eve of the 4th of July last year, my German Shepherd trembling so much he couldn't eat, until I met Jacobs, a former canine police dog trainer from Los Angeles. He didn't bring medicine or expensive equipment, he simply sat on the floor and asked, "Are you leading or following his fear?" At the first explosion of the night, Jacob didn't look at Spike, kept an upright posture, breathed deeply, and calmly continued drinking water. Spike looked at him, then at me, and within 90 seconds, he lay down beside the former cop with a sigh that sounded like liberation. Jacob explained, "Dogs don't want comfort when they're scared, they want a leader who shows that danger doesn't exist." He taught me mirrored breathing. Inhale deeply through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale through the mouth for 6, and repeat until the dog unconsciously syncs up. He also taught me the grounding touch. 3 gentle contact points, shoulder side, front paw, held for 20 seconds without movement. That night, Spike not only stopped trembling but voluntarily approached the window to watch the fireworks with curiosity, not terror. The most profound lesson wasn't technical, it was realizing that my fear of his fear was the biggest barrier to his calm. When I stopped trying to fix his panic and started radiating unshakable security, he was finally able to rest. Every tremble your dog hides under the bed is a silent plea for a more predictable world. Every anxious glance in your direction isn't weakness, it's the purest form of trust. You are my compass when the world loses its way. We, humans, build fireworks to celebrate the sky, but we forget that for other species, the same sky can be a sensory battlefield. True empathy isn't about feeling what the other feels, it's about acting to turn someone else's fear into safety, even when we don't fully understand its origin. Your dog doesn't ask you to eliminate all the noises in the world, he simply asks that you be the safe harbor in the storm. And in that simple gesture, staying calm when everything is exploding around you, lies one of the purest forms of love, the courage to be the anchor for someone who can't be strong on their own. This video ends here, but your journey as your best friend's emotional guardian is just beginning. If you felt your heart tighten imagining your pet scared, that's not weakness, it's the call of connection that makes us truly human. Click subscribe not for algorithms or numbers, but to be part of a community that believes no living being should face fear alone. Together, let's transform every home into a sanctuary, every night of fireworks into a testament of trust, and every fearful glance into a quiet reminder that the deepest love speaks without words, it simply stays, calm, unwavering, by their side.